Hey, you.
Huh?
Are you tired of always going to concerts and not knowing how to properly enter a mosh pit?
Sure, I guess so.
Well, you're in luck, my dear friend, as you've just unknowingly became the poster boy for this PSA. May I welcome all of you to a gentleman's guide to the mosh pit. This multi-step process will not only teach you how to thrive in this environment, but will also prevent everyone around you from thinking, wow, this guy's a total dick. So sit back and relax as we go over how a dapper fellow like yourself can achieve success. Step 1. Read the crowd. Although you may be more than excited to begin your journey into the pit, the first thing you must ask yourself is, are these people ready to throw down? Usually that question answers itself within a matter of seconds after a song begins, but there are a few things to be aware of during this crucial moment. First of all, is this an appropriate song to start a pit to? If this song is generally energetic or powerful, then by all means, open that thing up faster than a McDonald's at 2 in the morning. But if it's more on the softer or melodic side, then it's best to either move it to somewhere remote, or just grab each other and start slow dancing. Cause let me tell you something right now, no one likes an inappropriate mosher.
But what if I want to start a pit now?
Patience, young one, you'll get your chance. One of the best parts about the pit is the anticipation for it. Cause while non-stop moshing can be fun, sometimes it's nice to have a break in between songs to both unwind and just, enjoy the music. This is something we'll get more into later, but for right now, understand, you're not the only person in the pit. Shocking, I know. But this will be a central theme throughout the rest of the PSA. So get out your little flashcards and notebooks and write the rest of this down, cause it will be on the test. Step 2. Don't start fights. Despite the fact that mosh pits consist of sweaty edgelords relentlessly pushing each other around, no one is there to start an actual fight. This is a common misconception most pit virgins have, as they believe moshing is the equivalent to a no-holds-back alleyway brawl. And although the music playing can often affect the aggression of some of the participants, know that when you see someone swinging their limbs around in a large open space, that is not a pit. That's just a person ruining the potential of a perfectly good pit because of all of their built-up rage. This is what's widely regarded by many seasoned moshers as a dick move. As by starting a fight, you're ruining the experience for not only yourself and the person you're dueling, but also for literally everyone else around you. This also strongly goes against the communal aspect that so many pits try to establish. By someone starting a fight, it's obvious that it's in an effort to mask their insecurities by resorting to violence. If you ever catch anyone doing this, make sure to call them out, as it may even draw the attention of the band itself. Nothing, I repeat, nothing is more disheartening than getting kicked out of a show by the band you came to see.
You don't come to my show and fight, you come to my show and fucking dance, you asshole!
Shut up! Fuck off!
Step 3. Help thy fellow man. As just stated, the pit is a very communal setting. Everyone is there for the same reason you are and wants to express their passion in a more physical way. This, as a result, bestows a sort of moral obligation among the participants to make sure everyone is having a good time. Now, that doesn't mean to buy people band merch or drive them home after they've had one too many. Instead, there are things to keep in mind in case of certain situations that may occur while in the pit. Some of these include helping up those who've fallen down, escorting someone out who looks like they need a break, or even assisting in a crowd surf. When these moments arise, it is your civic duty to assist in any way possible, as the safety and well-being of others takes priority. Never forget that a small act can go a long way, and by doing this, it shows how much you care about the community around you. Step 4. Don't take your shirt off. For many pit veterans, this has been widely regarded as one of the most important rules to follow. Because of how thrilling pits are, they can sometimes cause people to do rather brash things without much hesitation or thought. And the biggest offender of this is when it results in the loss of clothing, specifically shirts. Even if you're the most ripped person ever, all of the other moshers are going to do everything in their power just to avoid you. Aside from becoming a human slip and slide with how sweaty your body is, it's obnoxious having to deal with someone who has a more positive body image than you. Self-confidence is something many of us moshers lack, which is why we resort to shunning those who even have the slightest ounce of it. Is it wrong? Yes. Do we know it's wrong? Absolutely. Do we still do it? Of course. Step 5. pace yourself. It's no secret that mosh pits are the greatest test of endurance ever. Who needs running or bicycling when you can literally just trample over people like a wild animal? But similar to all of the other activities that require stamina, you need to learn how to pace yourself in the pit. Out of all the points we've discussed, this is the one new moshers will overlook the most, as they assume the pit is essentially the greatest game of King of the Hill ever. And believe me, nothing boosts your ego more than being in the pit for longer than everyone else. But never overestimate your abilities, especially if you're new to the scene. The truth is, there's nothing wrong with taking breaks during some parts of the set. You may think you look like the guy who rides the ski lift down to the bottom of the double black diamond, but in reality, you'll at the very least be the guy who's alive at the end of the day. The point of this is to know your endurance and what you're capable of at that given time, because by pushing yourself too far, you'll run the risk of burning out way sooner than expected, and not have the ability to enjoy the rest of the show. And trust me, there is nothing worse than being so fatigued you inadvertently develop smoker's lung. Also, don't smoke, kids.
Wow, I sure learned a lot today. Thanks, mister.
Of course, Jimbo. Hopefully with everything we went over today, you'll be ready to take on your first pit, and not just fumble around like a brainless idiot.
Boy, I'll say, I can't wait to start my very own wall of death.
Now hold on there, Mr. Antsy. Before we send you off into the world of subpar bands and mediocre venues, our lead Mosh scientist has a few more words of advice for what you should bring to the pit. With that in mind, please take it away, Doctor.
Hello, my name is Dr. Stevie, with a C, much how like I passed through med school. Here we are to bring to you today the things that you should bring to your first concert. The common iPhone. To call your mother or significant other. Not much reception will be found in the pit. You should not use this to take videos in the pit. That's what the front of this thing is. Next we have your keys. We don't know if you drove to the event, but in case you do, make sure you have those on hand. These weren't supposed to. Okay, here we go. We have, potentially you might need protection. I don't know where you're going to see your concert, but here we just have your standard 4-inch serrated steel knife, comes everything, and it can cut pretty much whatever you want. We have a nicotine delivery device. Even if you don't smoke, I'd recommend picking up one of these. Can be very useful in your concert going experience. Hey man, you want a hit? Sure, I'll take a hit. And it's actually PCP. Next we have here a lighter. I don't know if you smoke, but it will go hand in hand. You might need that to cauterize a wound you get in the pit. You never know. Here we have cigarettes. Now these are optional. What is inside is not optional. Marijuana. Now here's something I really want to talk about. It's safe sex. And you know, it's once said a wise man leaves the house wearing a condom, and that's not all far off. You should always bring a spare condom in hand. I don't put them in my wallet personally. It's just there's too much other things in there. But we have, you know, those girls in the nasty hookers. They got the piercings and the tattoos and the daddy issues, and it's like you don't want to go sticking your dick in crazy. And that's all the time we have today here with Dr. Stevie with the C.